morning, everybody. Welcome to Motivational Monday. Just want to welcome a few people attending live. We have Angel Perez, David James, Steve Tratner, Tim Canyon. My name is David Reamer-Sma with AHCP. I'm joined today by Dan Giancola, also of AHCP. And again, welcome. It's Monday, October 11, 2021. And I wanted to start today by one of my favorite motivational quotes by no one else but Thomas Jefferson. With I find it hard, the harder I work, the more luck I seem to have. And for those of you on the call, I'm sure that is something you can relate to, but still just a great quote going into this very busy season. So welcome again, Motivational Monday. Already almost mid-October, cannot believe it. We're going to go through a tip of the week today. We are going to have some shout outs to some very high performers this week. And we are going to have Dan come on and talk about retention before OEP. So without further ado, let's go through our tip of the week. And I know it's very, very busy times right now. So I want to give you 5 little tips that you can follow to stay motivated right now during these extremely busy times. Number 1 is think about your impact. Think about everything you're doing every single day and the effect it has on people's lives and how important your job is. So think about your impact. That should help you stay motivated. Also consider your work in context. Number 3, break up those overwhelming tasks. If you come to work feeling overwhelmed, you got a lot of stuff going on, break into small chunks, make little blocks of time for each one of those tasks to help get those done, to help you stay less stressed out. Also have deadlines. Have small deadlines for yourself on everything to help you stay organized so nothing slips between the cracks. Also, step outside your comfort zone. Progress is never made for people to stay always in their comfort zone. So jump out of that comfort zone, and that will help you stay motivated during very busy times. Those are your tips of the week. Let's go into some great sales leaders and kudos for last week for short-term medical, Golden Rule and Pivot. Limited medical, we have Golden Rule. Accent, the leading one sold was NHIC. Dental, we got United. And Medicare RX, we have Aetna. Let's go to some high performers for last week. For short-term medical, little kudos for Jacob Gordon. Awesome work. Katia Santa Maria, awesome work. And Luke Dale, awesome job. Little high five for all those folks for short-term medical sales. Moving on now to accident. We have Jeffrey Franzoni. Congratulations. Great job last week. Also, William Cox, another very familiar name we have out there that's on the leaderboard. Congratulations. What a great week. Now for critical illness, Richard Banville, awesome job. And Brandon Combs. These are your high performers, all of you. Thank you so much for all of your efforts last week, and for you high performers, highest performers, awesome job. Congratulations. Awesome work. Love it. So going to move on from that. I'm going to pass it off to Dan Giancola, who is going to go through some sales techniques. So Dan, without further ado.
Thank you so much, David. I appreciate it, my friend. So good morning, everybody. It is Dan Giancola here, and I'm going to talk a little bit about sales techniques of retention. Retention before OEP. And I know it's a funny one to talk about because everyone says, you know what, I retain my clients after. That's kind of a lie. Retaining them before. I have been literally doing OEP since before there was an OEP. So these are some things that I have learned throughout the years. So please learn from my mistakes. That's all I'm here to talk about. Is like, here's some mistakes I made. Here's some things I wish I knew so I could actually prevent them. So one of the interesting things, I worked for very large carriers. In the past, I worked for a company called Assurant Health, and we noticed the largest number of cancels were right after OEP. What would happen is people would talk their clients into submission of buying, but didn't give them actual tools to keep the policy and actually use the policy. Really what retention is educating the clients on how the policy works and what resources to use when they have questions. And then of course, to give them your number as well, because we're full service brokers here at AHCP and they can definitely call with questions. So another thing about working on retentions before OEP again is, you know what, people are active and they'll talk over holidays. Absolutely. I mean, a big one's coming up in my neighborhood. It's Halloween. We all get together in the cul-de-sac, have a few drinks, and this is one where people will talk about insurance. I can guarantee it. Also because they're like, hey, it's Dan the insurance man. And I'm like, well, that is kind of the truth. So hopefully this year, nobody brings their policy documents because I have had nightmares about that in the past. And then, you know, the biggest thing too is that we want to make sure our clients have the insurance they need. And that way, when they need it, they use it, they keep paying their premium. That's actually how we get paid, right? So this is an interesting one. Every contact we have with a customer influences whether or not they'll come back. We have to be great every time or we'll lose them. And that's so true with retentions. Every time you touch that client, that is working on retaining them, right? You give them a good experience. People want to work with people that they enjoy. So you give them a good experience, they're going to go to, let's say, that Halloween shindig and talk about you. And that is what you want. So number one, 5 quick techniques here for retention. Number 1 is speed of service, right? So if you get a question, the first thing is, if you can respond to the question right away, do so. If you can't, respond to the question right away and let them know, I don't have the answer, but I will find it. The number 1 reason people cancel health insurance is lack of communication from their agent, right? Lack of communication. They're sitting there going, hey, when does my premium drop? Take a quick look at it and respond. You know, if they say, you know, I have to get this surgery done, how do I go through the process? Say, you know what, let me take a look at that. I want to make sure I get you the right information. We live off of referrals. You give them quick speed of service. You can be that resource that someone can use. And also you can educate them. So they say, hey, you know what, my broker Dan, he's absolutely amazing. I've been working with him for, 10, 15 years now. When I have a question, if he doesn't know the answer, he'll for sure get back to me. So the first thing is speed of service. You delay, you're giving your client time to think, they go online and research, they might wind up in another broker's lap. I have gotten clients that way from other brokers, and you want to say, hey, go talk to your original broker. Well, my broker won't talk to me. Actually, funny enough, I actually had that happen this morning. What are the odds of this? Okay, so that is 1. Number 2, when your clients leave, do they know how the policy works? Right? A lot of common questions we get right away are going to be, how does it work when I go see my doctor? How does it work if I get into a bad accident? How does it work if I get cancer? One of the things, random story, I have my master's in adult learning, is have them repeat it back to you. Right? I started doing that with my clients, saying, okay, so here's how it works when it goes to the doctor. Your prescription, if you get into a huge accident. Okay, so how does it work then? If they can tell me, it's a higher level of learning. That means that they're going to have a higher level of retention in their mind. That way, if they're going to the doctor, they feel confident. They're not going to just randomly cancel the policy because they say, you know what, I'm scared to use my insurance. That is not something we want our clients to have, right? You don't want them to be scared to use their insurance. You want them to feel confident and comfortable. So if your client knows how the policy works, they're not going to randomly cancel it. Also, we have been doing a really great job with those supplements. David gave shout outs there for critical illness, for accidents, for PDPs, for prescription drug plans. Supplements are confusing. Let's be honest, even us as agents, supplements can be confusing. What are the waiting periods? How do they work? What do I actually get paid out on? Make sure that's clear to your client, because that is a very confusing part of the insurance. They're used to what? Going to the doctor for a cold or flu, or what happens when they break their leg. So start talking about them, incorporate them in the story, but make sure that they know what they are. Also, if there's some really, really confusing terms, some clients think they know what a copay is, but maybe they don't. How does the copay work? Is it everything at the doctor? Or if they get sent down the hall and do an x-ray, does the copay still work there? So educate them on that. Reverse copay, that's a weird one, right? So some people use that when they talk about, fixed benefit or limited benefit indemnity plans. So how do those work? How does the policy work? So if they go in, do they pay the doctor or do they assign the benefits? When do they get the money if they pay the doctor then? Also, what's a max out of pocket? So the moot, funny story. I was with a friend's mom. We were talking about how policies work, and literally she told me she just wanted an 80-20 plan, didn't understand how it works. I'm like, okay, so in the past, what was your deductible? She's like, damn, it doesn't have one. It's an 80-20 plan. Okay, cool. You can have 0 deductibles. We know that. I'm like, okay, so what would you pay when you go to the doctor? When you would go and, let's say, fall down the stairs, break your leg, what would happen? She's like, it's an 80-20 plan. They're all the same. No, let them know what the max out of pocket is. That was a really fun conversation. I love it when people are sitting there, this is how insurance works. Luckily, I have no idea. Let them know when the money gets drafted. Okay, I think we all can be honest with this one. Let me go back. If someone messes with your money, you will be upset. If someone messes with your client's money, they'll be upset, right? Here's one of the things that I do. It has the write it on the fridge thing. It's not a joke. It's still something we do to this day. Say, hey, you know what? Grab a pen and paper. I want to go through and give you a list here. And so I go through and I say, hey, here's your short term. It looks like we sold a lot of UHC. So hey, here's your golden rule. This is what it looks like when it gets drafted out of your account. This is the date. Looks like we sold a lot of NHIC supplements. So hey, here's your NatGen accident plan enhancer there. Here's your NatGen critical illness. And here's a UHC dental, right? Give them what the policies are, what it's going to look like when they get drafted out of their account. This is what I do. Steal this, right? Okay, great. Write it down, put it on your fridge. What's going to happen in a month when all these get drafted? You're probably going to give me a call saying, what the heck's going on? I'm going to say, you know what? Go look on your fridge. Do it every time. They take a look at their fridge. They see like, oh yeah, I did write that down. Maybe it'll prevent a few calls, no guarantees, but hey, that's something to take a look at. Also, schedule retention times, right? One of the things about it, I know we're getting into OEP, but you still need to make sure you schedule time for retentions. Did they get their insurance cards? Did they get all their policy docs? One of those things, I know a lot of us dropped the ball during OEP. Absolutely not. If you want to, make more money without having to work that much harder, this is an easy one. Put it on your calendar for a time. You can go through, pull a list of all those that, on NSF, all those clients that didn't pay their bill, give them a call up there saying, hey, you know what? Looks like your credit card may have lapsed, or maybe you changed cards, or did you want to change your payment type? Do it each day, set aside a little time each day, 30 minutes to do it. You're saying, I know it's OEP, I'm going to be crazy. I already have mine blocked out on my schedule. I want to make sure my clients get that. So, if they're trying to call with a question, no, I'd rather be proactive because I'm going to be on the phone, 10, 12 hours a day coming up here. We want to make sure our clients can go through and have a time to talk. You can track it on Excel or a CRM. I know, at AHCP, we do have a list of recommended CRMs. One of those things that you can reach out. I'll give you the email address here at the end and ask about. And the last one is make sure they have the resources. In addition, make sure you have the resources too, right? So if they need to file a claim, where do they go? I know one of the things that we've absolutely loved about NatGen is their natgenhealth.com website. There is literally a spot saying, hey, client, you need to file a claim. This is how you do it. It's a visual walkthrough of the claim. I have one of my friends, what she does, she lives in Southern Florida, and she actually has a sheet. She copy and paste it, but for every one of the carriers that she sells the client, she'll go through and she copies and pastes this section into a Word doc, saves it as a PDF, and gives it to the client. And it says, here's what you need to do for each one of the carriers. That way it's easy for her, right? So if they're going to call, she can actually pull it up for them when they talk and say, here's the number you need to call, or here's the website you need to go to. And the last thing too is make sure they know who to contact with questions. That's kind of a big one. I mean, one of the things, if you want to keep your clients and keep growing your client base, is make sure they feel comfortable turning to you for questions. But there are some places when they can't turn to us, right? Maybe they've already filed a claim and the company only wants to work with the insured. That's completely fine. Just make sure they know who to contact with questions. That way, again, they're going to be comfortable with the policy and they're not going to be afraid to use it. Funny enough, all 5 of these things are things that you should be doing right now and during OEP. If you can prepare your spreadsheet right now, that would help you an absolute ton. If you'll go through and mark off your calendar, retention time, that's going to save those clients from dropping. If your stick rate's 75% for your clients. Really easy, do the retention time. It will at least raise 5%. I've done this with probably over 1,000 agents at this point, and it works every time. And then create the sheet, know who to contact with questions, and make sure you know the process before OEP. And I know we have a lot of new things coming out with the carriers, UHC with our ACA. Make sure you have all your ducks in a row. You can tell I'm from the Midwest because I just used that phrase, ducks in a row. So if you do have any questions, about this presentation, or you're saying, hey, you know what, I need a CRM, or what do these sheets look like, you can always email us at training@ahcpsales.com, or there's agency services as well. If you don't have all of your contracts done for your major med carriers, getting ready for this OEP, please do them now. 11-1's happening quick. It's running all the way through 115 this year. So go through, contact agency services, let's say, we're going to California. He's like, okay, so I'm in Ohio. What carriers do I need to have? Those people can help go through. We made sure that he's getting all the carriers he needs, which was actually a lot, shockingly. So feel free to go through and contact them. And see here, I clicked off. This last one. Okay, you guys can tell I love quotes, but this is one of my favorites out there. It's not your customer's job to remember you. It's your obligation and your responsibility to make sure they don't have the chance to forget you. I have clients who I've been working with for 12 to 15 years. They absolutely will not forget me. Do the same. Good thing. They'll tell a friend or two. If you do something bad, they'll tell 10 friends. So make sure that you are somebody that they can remember and that they don't have the chance to forget you. David, thank you for letting me jump on today and just giving a few tips here for retention. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate you, Dan, and appreciate everyone that was able to attend today. Thank you so much. I hope you all have a great rest of your Monday and have a great week. Thank you so much for joining. Have a good day.